Well, they're separated by just 50 miles geographically, but in football terms, it's a chasm. More than 70 places on the Football League ladder. Everton 6th in the Premier League and only 6 points off a Champions League spot against the Macclesfield side, who've been fighting for their very Football League existence in recent seasons. Standing room only. Lucky few have got seats on the terraces. There's no room at all. Let's have a check on the sides then. Keith Alexander was able to recall striker Francis Green after suspension, but has chosen to leave him on the bench. Bit of a surprise that. He missed last weekend's win over Chester. Alexander again goes with a 5-man defence. You can expect the likes of Lee Bell and Terry Dunfield to provide the craft in midfield. Isaac Reed and James Jennings will try and overlap from the flanks whenever they can. As for Everton, well, their team almost picks itself. Tim Cahill is again pressed into service up front, although this time he's got a partner. You heard Jason mention that Anichebe is back after a spat-out injured. Joseph Yobo's out, so Jolyon Lescott continues at centre-half with Leighton Baines at full-back. And Marouane Fellaini begins as a sub. He's only one yellow card away from another suspension. Well, Keith Alexander there. He's been here 10 months. He kept Macclesfield up last season. He arrived after the previous incumbent left the job. And David Moyes, who's been in charge at Everton for 6.5 years, but never passed the 5th round of the FA Cup, so he's got a bit of a point to prove too. He
has. Everton have not had a cup run. He's made plenty of comments in the papers this week about how he would love to. Make no mistake about it, the Premiership, where they finish in the Premier League, is what it's all about. But he would love nothing more, I'm sure, than a decent cup run.
Man in charge this afternoon is Peter Walton from Northamptonshire, who refereed Everton's defeat at Arsenal in the league back in October. We're underway then at the Moss Rose. It wasn't just the groundsman and some supporters who volunteered to get the pitch ready. The chairman, Mike Rance, was working all through the night as well, mucking in.
Do we believe that?
Well, I've seen the pictures, so I know it's true. There's Richard Walker, who got the ball out for Everton's first throw. Top is in their change kit of white shirts with black shorts. And straight away, they go long with the throw. Neville's header back in. The header was more up than out by Isaac Reed. Still haven't got it properly clear. And in the end, it was toe poked really towards goal by Stephen Pienaar. He's only scored once all season. And a first touch for Johnny Brain in the Macclesfield goal. And it should be there. A big bonus for Everton to have back today. He's had a wretched season. He's only started 3 league games. Had a series of other injuries before he had that back problem.
You can see the way they've lined up Everton. He's going to be the focal point of their attack, if you like. He's a big, strong, physical boy. Takes no prisoners, will put himself about. Seeing him play against the likes of John Terry, Ferdinand and the like. He gives them no respect. He's out there to make sure he does a decent job, and he's a decent target man.
A total miscue there by Leighton Baines. Nearly presented an opportunity, still might be. I tell you what, that was travelling. Baines with the error, and Terry Dunfield certainly got the power, but he couldn't keep it down.
Well, you can see he's smiling there, Trev, but he'll know himself that that's a wonderful opportunity. Does ever so well down the right hand side, whips it in, poorly defended by Everton. It falls to him on his right foot. If he gets that on target, you see it's straight above Tim Howard and always rising. But if he gets that on target, it was just a chance that could have gone in down there. And you look at that start from Everton, a bit sloppy defensively.
It's good work by Gareth Evans to get the ball across when the ball looked to be running away from him and out for a goal kick. So the first sight of goal falls to Macclesfield, but they couldn't take it. Tony Hibbert will take the throw here for Everton. Back in the side, Hibbert. He had a spell on the substitutes bench. Hanged off by Pienaar. Chested down by Anichebe. This is Baines. Wasn't the best cross. He might get a second chance. No shortage of bodies waiting in the middle for Leighton Baines. Oh, Looked like he'd lost the chance, but Everton have kept possession. Pina. Just a fraction too high for Anichebe.
Well worked down that left-hand side by Everton. Baines got slightly lucky, some desperate defending there from Macclesfield, and just wonder whether the ball could have come in a little earlier there for Anichebe. In the end, the cross was poor over everyone's head. Entertaining start to the game.
Macclesfield have only won 2 of their last 6, but as I mentioned, they did beat Chester last weekend. That was a morale-boosting victory, they needed it. Long clearance by Johnny Braid, and Hibbert not standing on ceremony. It's one out the ground.
And just see him look round to Tim Howard there. I wonder whether a bit of a communication problem, was taking no chances. Decided to clear it and then talk about it afterwards.
Made his 200th first-team appearance earlier this season, Tony Hibbert. Jennings with the throw. Nicely done by Morgan. Reed. We'll see, is it Reed getting forward on this right-hand side whenever he can? He couldn't quite make up his mind what to do, Lee Bennett. It was neither a shot nor a pass, really.
Can't quite work out what that was. In the end, he looks like he's trying to take it with the outside of his foot and had a couple of options. Should he play it into his front man, or should he have a strike on goal? And in the end, see Keith Alexander there. I think he looks as bewildered as everyone else.
He's the first black manager in the Football League back in 1993 when he took over at Lincoln City. So a couple of spells there.
Still the only black manager in the Football League.
Paul Ince was a former Macclesfield boss. Managed to keep them in the league when they looked dead and buried a few seasons back. Alexander repeated the trick last season. Cross comes Jolyon Lescott. Cleared by Hibbert. Certainly don't look overawed though, Macclesfield, so far.
No, though they're playing 5 at the back, you can clearly see they're prepared to commit bodies going forward if need be.
Arteta with something of a miscue, but found an Everton shirt. Baines. Laid off by Osman. Arteta again. I will say so far the surface is playing very well. Neville. Arteta will be the linchpin in midfield for Everton. Was linked with Arsenal earlier in the week. £12 million move was being speculated upon by certain Red Tops. Hibbert. First bit of sustained possession for Everton, but Pinar's lost it. Bell.
Well organised defensively there, Macclesfield. Can't afford to give the ball away cheaply like that. They're not going to see too much of the ball, you would have thought. When they get it, they have to keep hold of it. Patient build up there from Everton. Knocking the ball from left to right, but Macclesfield, so disciplined, well organised.
I think the other thing that's evident so far as well is that Macclesfield aren't going to hit lots and lots of long balls. They want to keep it on the floor. They've got a couple of reasonably quick players out wide. And they're going to play a passing game here.
Yeah, it's about keeping possession. You give the ball away more often than not to Everton. A team with their quality is going to punish you. And Keith Alexander has been around the game an awful long time to know that the ball, if you can keep hold of it, it's very precious.
Brain's the only ever present in their squad, the goalkeeper. A very big kick on him too. Just couldn't bring that under control. Gareth Evans.
The amount of bodies they get there, Trev, in that final third and in that middle third. Once that ball does go over there, they're not prepared to have that 5 at the back that we see there. The wing-backs are pushing on to create that extra bit of strength and certainly manpower up in that final third. See again the amount of bodies they've got forward.
It was a bit of an up and under from Terry Danfield. Cleared by Richard Walker. And the free kick for Everton. Baines. Nicely done by Pienaar. Leighton Baines again. Free licence to raid down the left-hand side. going to be the problem for Reid. He loves to make those runs forward, but if Baines is going to attack this much, he might have to spend most of his time defending.
As a wing-back, you want to make sure that you get forward as often as you can.
Pienaar's ball in, it was a dangerous one, well defended by Morgan, not properly clear yet. And he should be trying to find room to turn. That's Pienaar. Laid off by Neville. Osman. Neville again. Cleared away by the huge figure of Nat Brown. Precise ball that from Phil Neville. Oh, nice trickery from Osman, but he just overran it. Pity. Everton had a couple waiting there.
He did indeed, and that's unlucky. Nice skill. Just overrun it slightly. It's crowded out. They've got that Jennings on that left-hand side. And Walker as well. It's a bit of insurance. No way through.
Osman was an FA Youth Cup winner way back in the late 90s. Spent his whole career at Everton Football Club. Away by Baines. Inchby got the flick. Cahill a touch. Osman again. Into Cahill. There just wasn't any room. He was suddenly surrounded by a swarm of blue shirts.
It's the ball from Baines into an Ichibi there, and it's the second ball they've got to win, and they just seem to stand off Everton.
Well, here comes Leighton Baines waiting again down the left-hand side. That was a better delivery. It was fast and fizzing, but Morgan cut it out.
And Ichibi's going to win Trevor's fair share of headers. It's not necessarily about the first flick on, it's about the second ball there. They just seem to be static for me, Macclesfield. Sorry. Everton reacted quickly.
Dunfield couldn't take it on, but he was being fouled. Free kick Macclesfield. Arteta can't believe he's the man who's been penalised, but Peter Walton had a pretty good view of that. Here it is.
Much in it was there, really. See, Evans just seemed to be a little slow there, but Arteta judged to have impeded. Quick free kick.
Oh, it's caught Everton a little flat-footed. Far post, what a chance! Wow, will they live to regret that? Everton was sleeping from the free kick. It was a terrific delivery from the right-hand side, and you'd have to say a very, very wasteful header from Nat Brown.
Well, it's wonderful. They get Everton on their heels, and the ball's coming. It's a wonderful cross, and Brown has got to hit the target. He's got the goal gaping there, and he's just got to keep his chin on his chest, get the ball down. It's come off the top of his head, and you can see by his reaction there the disappointment that he knows that's the best chance of the game.
What a terrific cross from James Jennings, who's the left back, found himself playing as a right winger. You'd never have guessed it. Everton have got a let-off here with 11 minutes played at Moss Rose. Brain will come and get this. But what would have really upset David Moyes, Jace, is not so much the fact they left a man unmarked, but the way they switched off from the free kick in the first place.
I was just about to say, Macclesfield there, nice and sharp, alert and bright, recognising that Everton were regrouping and were disorganised, really. It's a simple free kick, really, when you look at the way the chance was created. It's a simple ball inside or behind the fullback there. They're in again.
Just a lack of control at a vital moment.
Really, Trev, Brown has got to hit the target.
Evans let the ball get away from him there. Just a minute or so after Brown had headed over an open goal effectively. He's just extended his loan deal, Nat Brown, at the club, and David Moyes does not look best impressed with his team, does he?
No, it's a very open game at the moment. He won't want that. When they have gone through Macclesfield, they look dangerous, they look bright, they look alert. They've already had two really good chances. Brown having the header, of course, and Dunfield having the chance on his right foot. Very open, far too open for David Moyes' liking.
Ball didn't reach Arteta. Here's Gritton. Just got too much on that.
I think they're set up very well, Macclesfield. I've been impressed with the opening 12 and a half minutes that I've seen so far. Defensively, they look very assured. Difficult to break down. Baines has had that one crossing chance down that left-hand side, but other than that, they look really compact and tight.
Well, that's just about stayed in play. Got a bit lucky there, Lescott, that his opponent slipped. Here's Dunfield. Now Evans. Maybe a trifle optimistic. It really was nearer the corner flag than the goal.
Well, Brown's giving him hell there. He's absolutely right. He's done well here, Evans, and Dunfield has played the ball back into him. He's got it on his left foot. To shoot from that distance is very, very optimistic.
Former Crew trainee Gareth Evans, he came through that Dario Gradi production line. And it was flicked on by Anichebe. Here till the end of the season now, Nat Brown on loan from Wrexham. Anichebe got a flick on that, covering is Hesse, the captain. This is Baines. Peanut. Neville. Getting support from Tony Hibbert. That wasn't the best first touch from Hibbert though. Neville again for Everton. Well, the telegraphed his intention. It's broken back to Osman. And that's very easy for Brain.
He's all over the place at the moment, working extremely hard.
Free kick given here for Everton. Hibbert. Straight up in the air from Hesse. Arteta couldn't win it in the air against Dunfield. Bit short that layoff from Brown. Osman. Mikel Arteta needs to stamp his authority on the game from David Moyes' point of view. Here's Leighton Baines. Good vision to see Osman just in a couple of yards of space. He tried to play Baines back in. It was a good idea, almost came off.
Yeah, slowly but surely you get the feeling the last couple of minutes now Everton are just settled down into their passing game. The movement's good, they're getting good width from the pitch, most notably Baines down this left-hand side.
Well, he's got it again, and look how much space Leighton Baines is in. Can he pick out a teammate? No, he can't. But it wasn't for the want of trying. Two Everton players sliding in there, including Osman on the far post, but it didn't fall for it.
When you play three at the back as three centre-halves, the problem you've got is there's always going to be that gaping area where the full-back, as Reid did there, you see him push on with his arm in the air. There's always going to be a huge space. That's the space to be exploited when you have 3 or 5 at the back. As soon as the two full-backs push on, that's where it is. Wonderful run from Osman, beautiful cross, just the finish wasn't quite there. But as I said a couple of minutes ago, Trev, slowly but surely now Everton are getting on top in this game.
And Isaac Reid finding himself a little exposed, the Macclesfield right back at the moment, with Leighton Baines attacking at will.
He did neither. He didn't defend, he didn't close the ball down. He got caught in no man's land. And you speak about him, he's only a young boy, experience, he'll learn from this game. He'll look back on that there. What should he do? Should he sit and let him have the possession in front of me? Do I close him down? As soon as I close down, that ball is played in behind me. But then you're looking for your centre-halves to react. Hesse and Morgan and Walker, they seem to come up all over the place. One's got his arm up. Must be worrying there for Alexander to see how disorganised his back five were.
This will be easy for Tim Howard. And a quick delivery from the American as well. He's got Baines off on the charge once more. Here's Arteta. Quite wrap his foot round that. He had a player available wide right, couldn't pick him out.
Yeah, though Arteta, that pass was poor, he's becoming more and more influential as the game goes. He's the one, for me, they need to get a little closer to Arteta, having far too much time and space.
Just for a moment, Lescott didn't quite know where the ball was. Managed to get his bearings quickly enough, though. Baines for Anichebe. Excellent bodily strength from the Nigerian. And a dangerous looking ball, too. Put over the top of his own crossbar. Well, it's all Everton at the moment. Jennings, in the end, did well. He knew there was a player behind him.
They're having a few problems at the moment. Baines is causing all sorts of troubles for them. He's got far too much time and space, and that ball that I spoke about a minute ago where it's played in behind the fullback, giving HB there's plenty of time and space to get in there. Poor defender allowed to turn. Worrying times at the moment for Macclesfield.
7 Everton players in and around that Macclesfield penalty area for the corner. Towards Lescott, who's so dangerous at set plays. Appeals for handball from the Everton fans. It looked like it was accidental, and in the end a very tame shot wide from Lescott.
Yeah, rather tamed shouts for a penalty there. Never going to get given that. You know how prolific Lescott can be in front of goal.
Well, he scored 10 goals last season, Julian Lescott. He's got 3 already this. Both the goals against Villa recently in that league game.
A bright start from Macclesfield, but haven't been able to continue that. David Moyes will certainly be happier than he was in the opening 10 minutes.
Whistle's gone because we've got a player in need of attention here.
Well, we've got to the 20-minute mark, Macclesfield so far, that we spoke about before the game. They just seem to be dropping off a little deep. Baines has got way too much time, so no one closing him down. And he's pretty much getting to the halfway line, and they just seem to be encouraging that long ball, which is dangerous. And Ichibi's going to win his fair share.
Well, he's impressed so far, considering his lack of match action this season, and Ichibi doesn't look confident on that left foot to see Tim Howard. It's a real up and under that. Nodded back in by Martin Gritton. It will fall easily here for Neville, and Hibbert can bring it away for Everton. But Macclesfield have looked most dangerous when they've pressed Everton.
They've stopped doing it, Trev. For the last 10 minutes or so. See Baines coming out, Hibbert on the right-hand side. You can't allow your fullbacks to push on and have that much time and space.
Evans was snapping at Lescott's heels there like a terrier, but Lescott kept very calm. His belt. Jennings. Away by Hibbert. Not seen James Jennings get forward too often, apart from that quick free kick when we saw him down the right-hand side. But he's got Tony Hibbert to contend with, who's been pressing forward at every opportunity. Nice turn by Bell, got away from Neville. Decent pass too. Nicely worked this from Macclesfield, 2 waiting, it's towards Brown. Well, he was almost struggling, Reid. He was running backwards almost as he tried to get onto the knockdown, but that was much better from Nat Brown. Yeah, much better. Good build-up play down the left-hand side. It was Neville they got caught out. Played a wonderful little reverse pass. Decent cross. Here's the reverse pass I was talking about. Shaped up to go on the inside, cuts it back. Decent ball to the far post. All he's got to do is just head it back there, Brown. In the end, it falls to Reid's weaker left foot. When they get in the final third and they've got numbers in there, Trev, they look like they could cause Everton some problems. It's getting in that final third and getting support to the front men that they seem to have problems at the moment. You do think also keeping Arteta quiet is one of the keys to it from Macclesfield's point of view as well. Yeah,
I think the fullbacks and Arteta, at the moment, those 3 are on the ball more often than not for Everton, and they can't afford to give away free kicks in this sort of area. Probably a little too far for a strike for Arteta, and the way he's putting it down, it looks like he's considering. Foul on Leon Osman has given Everton a free kick, which Arteta is hovering over. Lescott always forward. Well, I'm not sure that was the best option. He must have been, 40 yards from goal there? Well, when you see how many headers an issue has won in the opening 23 and a half minutes of this game, you just wonder whether you just float the ball, even drill it in at head height, and see if you can get some second balls. Listen, he's got a great strike, wonderful technician, Arteta, but he got that completely wrong. Might need a few surplus footballs today. Another one out the ground. I often see that in Premier League games now, Trev, where the ball has to be thrown back over the stand. Well, not since you retired.
just over Brown's head. Nat Brown again. Evans pursued by Tony Hibbert. Disappointing end. It's Dunfield's errant pass. Macclesfield throw though. Dunfield again. He didn't see Mikel Arteta approaching from the rear. Foul on Jagielka as he went to head that clear. I think he's one of the more improved players in the Premier League, Phil Jagielka. He's ever present this season, Jason, and we mentioned earlier they don't concede many. He's a key part of that.
He is indeed, and with the absence of Yobo as well, even more responsibility placed on his shoulders. And of course, Jolly and Lescott, two players that David Moyes bought from the Championship, come up and impressed both Lescott and Jagielka. Of course, Jagielka was at Sheffield United, but both players that pretty much made their name in the Championship.
Yeah, he bought him when the Blades were relegated a couple of seasons back for £4 million. That looks an absolute bargain. He doesn't have a lot of money, David Moyes. He has to spend it wisely. Laid off by Brown. Bell ran over it. Dunfield. Delivered towards the far post where Brown's waiting. He's a very dangerous player in the air. He's so tall. He's winning it with ease at the moment in the Everton box.
Well, it's a wonderful tactic they've got. He's just pulling onto Baines' shoulder. Now Baines, of all the players in the back four, is the smallest. You know, you wonder whether Lescott on that left-hand side, who's his partner there, needs to come across and perhaps swap their roles. It's a dangerous game to play. He's on this right-hand side, Brown. He's finding himself more often than not in that area, but their build-up play to the final third at times can be a little disappointing, Macclesfield. But once they get there, they get bodies forward and they look very, very dangerous. Come back into the game last 5 minutes. It's been a good response.
Evans trying to get the better of Jagielka, who was very strong in the challenge. Arteta. Neville. Didn't really give Leon Osborne much chance of getting on the end of that.
Frustration there from Osborne. Wanted the ball really into his feet.
Phil Neville won 3 FA Cups at Manchester United, just the 6 Premier League titles and the Champions League. And just to make you feel really sick, he was a superb cricketer as a teenager, broke all of Mike Atherton's batting records at Lancashire under 16 level, and then probably wisely, in terms of finance, opted for football.
Yeah, I think we can safely say as a career move he made the right one.
Headed away by Morgan. Lescott. He only cost a few million, Julian Lescott, when he came from Wolves 2.5 years ago, and of course now he's an established international. Leighton Baines. Peanut. Nice little dummy, just bought himself a yard and then he rather ruined it with a poor pass.
Yeah, I think he was more or less kind of encouraging someone to run into that space more than really expecting. He's done well, created a bit of space for himself. Good overlapping run from Baines, but wasteful.
Lescott half got the job done. On by Arteta. Brown didn't see Arteta following up. Bell. Easy for Walker to go back to Johnny Brainey's goalkeeper. Lescott away again. If they get into a passing game with Everton, there's only one winner, but when Macclesfield have shown a little bit of invention, when they've injected some pace into a move going forward, they have caused Everton some problems.
Yes, they have, and I'd like to see them push another 10-15 yards higher up the pitch. And the likes of Arteta, Hutton has been in possession in the wide areas with a lot of space. Baines is the one that concerns me. as far as Macclesfield are concerned. They can just get a little higher up the pitch and support the two front men of Evans and Grissom. Once they get there, once they get in the final third and they have a set piece, a corner, a throw-in or maybe a free kick, they have looked dangerous.
Cahill jumping. Arteta. Osman. Bell right behind him. He's got very quick feet, Leon Osman. Can he find a way out of there? Now, appeals for handball. Not given. The assistant was only about 3 or 4 yards away, and he's given a corner.
Well, he's got a decision to make. It's one of those. It's not really going to get talked about. Either give a corner or a free kick. You know, they're 10 yards apart. It's taken quickly.
They'll have to settle for a throw this time.
It's one of those, Trev, sometimes you get, sometimes you don't. It's inside the box, of course. That's where the controversy starts.
And they can go long with the throw. And Brown missed it. Loose ball. And I'll tell you what, that's a very presentable opportunity. Cahill, you can tell from his reaction, he knows he should have buried that.
Well, it was one of those that fell to him. I don't think he was expecting it. It's come a long way. Everyone's missed it. Brown's got a slight flick on, and it's come to him. By his standards, that's a poor finish. He's been in a great run of form recently, scoring some valuable goals. As you said there, his body language suggests perhaps he could have done a little better there. It's on his weaker left foot and wasn't a great height for him. He's had to try and get over the ball to keep it down, but nevertheless, you speak to someone like Cahill, certainly his experience and goal-scoring standards, he'd expect to do better with that.
Scuffed it straight into the ground. Just being held. Osman as he came away, free kick to Everton with just over half an hour played now at Moss Rose, and the League Two side still on terms here. Replay, if there were to be one, be on Wednesday week at Goodison, and with a 40-odd thousand crowd guaranteed, it would be a huge payday for Macclesfield.
Could argue the dream result for Macclesfield.
Hooked away by Bell, headed back by Jagielka. One well in the air by Paul Morgan. Cleared by Jennings. Nice turn up by Gritton. They're trying to find Evans at every possible opportunity. Lescott's gone with him here. Came off Lescott last after a couple of ricochets.
He's a willing runner, Evans. He likes to go in behind that fullback, especially down that right-hand side. Where they've looked their most dangerous, Macclesfield. It's going to be a throw-in. It's Jennings to take.
Macclesfield have worked that quite well. Over Brown's head, unfortunately for him. Pina. Baines.
So again, they're more than happy for Everton to have possession here. They're staying compact at the back, but it just worries me once you get over the halfway line that they're allowing some movement from Anachibi and one or two others up front, Osmond, Cahill, that you can't discard. That's where you've got to worry if you've got that amount of time and space. It's not so much it's the movement off the ball. I have to say that their passing at times has been pretty wayward from Everton.
That's not a bargain that David Moyes snapped up. £1.5 million for Tim Cahill, nearly 5 years ago now, as he had quite a few years at Millwall when he came over from Australia. I've got to say, David Moyes' record in the transfer market, Jason, is sensational.
Yes, and he's had to do that. He can't compete with the financial muscle of the likes of Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester United, and for that matter Villa as well. I think the sort of side, certainly the first 11, 12, 13, 14 players he's got, he's put together a very impressive outfit.
Leighton Baines into Stephen Pina. Arteta. Pina wanted too much time on the ball. Here goes Reid. Pina has got back goal side. Lescott, last man back for Everton. Hibbert. A couple of cool customers, Jagielka and Lescott. Rarely see them flustered. And they've had a couple of anxious moments in the first 35 minutes or so here. Nicely done that by Anichebe, and a well-timed tackle by Dunfield.
Yes, Baines hasn't been in the game so much the last 15-20 minutes. Good work down this left-hand side. And to track back, you can see he's catching his breath.
Again, they use the long throw looking for Anichebe's flick, but it's safely through the brain.
No anticipation there. You know Anichebe's going to win his fair share, but no one was looking for the second ball.
Forward by Dunfield, and there's an offside flag up. Just like the first offside we've seen in the match, I think, against Evans. Remarkably, Keith Alexander's faced Everton with both his previous league clubs. Lincoln, way back in the early 90s of a League Cup, and then Peterborough a couple of years ago, also in the League Cup. Lost both of those. But his team at least are threatening to get to half-time goalless here. 10 minutes left in the first period. And we've stopped and then went back Morgan.
Got lucky. He got lucky, it was the bounce that done him a favour, but hesitation. Anichebe there was first to it again.
Here's Baines. Pina. It's a lovely touch by Osman, back to Stephen Pina. Not quite sure what he meant to do with the back flick though. He's got it again. Hibbert. Volleyed clear by Morgan.
Crucial period of the game this for Macclesfield. They can get to half-time. Sit down, have a break. Keith Alexander to instruct where he feels things need to be improved, but I feel as they concede at the moment now. They might not recover from it, but crucial part of the game.
Lescott.
Giving far too much time and space for me. They need to get a little higher up the pitch. They're dropping very deep. Encouraging passes like that into feet.
Here's Baines. Anichebe. Just showed a bit too much of it that time to his marker. Good jump by Gritton. Neville read it though. Passed by Jagielka, now Hibbert. Arteta. Lescott's ball forward, aimed at no one in particular. Casual flick at it from Brown. He's giving it straight back to Mikel Arteta. And Brown, with that sort of lolloping gait of his, came back and won it again for Macclesfield.
He done well there, but Arteta will know there was a chance there for a break. Wastefully given away in the middle of the park. He managed to break in behind their midfield. Brown, as you said, with those outstretched legs, managed to dispossess him.
Osman. Pina, space to measure across here. He had the chance to get it over. Baines does deliver in the end.
It's got to come in earlier, Trev. It's got to come in earlier. As a front man and a midfield man, when you're making those runs, you want to continue the momentum. And as soon as that ball comes back, you've then got to get yourself back out and see if you can make a run in again. You've done a little quicker for me. Get yourself into some good areas down that left-hand side, but Pina's got to put that ball in with his left foot.
sure that David Moyes or his chairman will be overly impressed with what they've seen so far. Ball's just out on the far side. Baines. Arteta. Baines again. In for Stephen Pienaar. Not had the best of first halves, the South African.
At times, I think Everton's passing in the final third has been sloppy. An example of it there.
Came through the world-famous Ajax Youth Academy, Stephen Pienaar. He was actually signed after Ajax by Borussia Dortmund when Rosicky left to join Arsenal. They saw him as the ideal replacement. That didn't work out, and he joined Everton permanently after a loan deal. Baines was stopped illegally in his tracks there. Free kick to Everton.
I'm not sure this is a free kick, you know, Trev. I think Baines knows he's knocked this a little too far out of his feet. Has gone down. The referee's decided it's enough to have a word with Reed. Has he touched him? I think he's gone down a bit easy there.
This would be a great time for Everton to score. Just coming up to the break. Jagielka amongst those waiting. In conversations with Richard Walker and Martin Britton. Lescott also up there for Everton. What a poor delivery that was, though. You've got the likes of Jagielka and Lescott. Let's give them a chance of getting to it.
Nothing more frustrating as a defender to run 30, 40, 50 yards upfield to find the ball barely reaches the penalty area. And the penalty, aren't they, here, Everton?
In the end, it should be denied. There's some shouts from behind the goal. The corner's been quickly taken. Again, the cross didn't have sufficient depth on it. It's come out to Neville. Now Arteta. Onto the favoured right foot. It's a little dink without too much power. Osman! That's a fine hit! Terrific strike! It's only Leon Osman's fourth goal of the season. And just before the interval, Everton break the deadlock. He got a piece of it, Brain, but he couldn't keep it out.
Well, you've got to feel for Macclesfield in this situation. They've done as much as they can. They've kept Everton to an arm's length. Keeper not having a great deal to do. Not the greatest ball in again from Arteta. It was cleared quite comfortably, but what a first touch and what a strike. What a strike that is. Wonderful technique. We spoke earlier about it being a crucial part of the game. If they can get to half-time, they've got something to build on. But that's a wonderful strike. He won't hit a better ball all season, I'm sure. Great first touch, great adjustment with his feet on the half volley, Trev, and that's a wonderful, wonderful goal.
Well, you can bet your bottom dollar that Martin Britton thought he cleared the danger when he headed that away, and it was sent back with interest by Osman. Just 2 minutes before the break, the Premier League side are in front.
You don't want to pick holes in the headed clearance, but sometimes you're best off. He's headed it into no man's land, really. Sometimes you're best off heading where the ball's just come from. Get a good, strong header. He's headed it into an area where Macclesfield were weak, but you can't take anything away from the touch and strike.
Maybe because he's a centre forward, not a centre half.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that, you show me a goal and I'll show you a mistake, and it's hard to pick holes in because they have defended well. They've limited Everton to very few efforts on goal, just a couple of half chances. What they don't want to do now is go 2-0 down.
Well, that would be the end of it, you fancy. Here's Osman again. cannon into the shins of Walker.
Talk's going to be much easier.
Away by Hesse, but not very far. And Hesse will let that go. Goal kick. Just be a minute of additional time to add when we reach the end of the 45. Morgan's header forward, touched by Martin Gritton, and again. The player down here.
I'll tell you what, I thought it was a poor challenge from Arteta, this.
It's Lee Bell who's injured.
His right arm, he's come over the top. Apologises.
I think he's going to be okay. Let's have a look.
You can see his eyes are firmly on the ball, but his arm has come out and away from his body, and it's caught him flush on the nose.
There's a fair bit of claret there as well.
The referee sees that, Trev. I think it's a booking. At least. Got a feel for Macclesfield. They've done okay. They've had a couple of really good chances in the opening exchanges of this game. Dunfield having a really good effort, but the best falling to Brown. And it's all about taking your chances, you know, Trev, when they do fall to you. And the strike that's looks like it's going to take Everton into the break 1-0 up was wonderful. But they're not out of it, Macclesfield.
Well, they can assess Lee Bell during the interval. The referee just having a word with him. There's only a matter of seconds to go. Peter Walton will obviously add on a few more seconds for this injury, but...
It's a poor challenge from Arteta. His eyes are fixed on the ball, but his arm comes out and down and away from him and catches Bell in the face. Like I said, I think if Peter Walton sees that, Trevor, I think he puts him in the book.
Well, I don't think too many of the Macclesfield players had the view that we did on the replay, because there was no animosity shown towards the Spaniard by any of the Macclesfield men. Down to 10 then, but albeit very briefly. Here's Reid. Half time at Moss Rose. It took the Premier League side a long time to break through. When they did, it was a super strike. Just about set then. No changes to either side. Macclesfield get us underway, attacking the goal away to our left in this second half. Would think if Green does come on, then Martin Gritton's a candidate to come off. He's not seen too much of the ball. Evans has looked the more dangerous striker.
Yeah, haven't seen much of Gritton, have we? Evans is the one that tries to get in behind the fullbacks. Hibbert's the one he prefers to choose.
Came off Martin Gritton. And again, got it back from Gareth Evans, who's on the chase here, but Jagielka will get there first. The best of clearances from Phil Jagielka. Gritton's header, though, into no man's land, really. Whacked away by Bates.
I thought their main priority, Macclesfield, is not to concede in the opening 10-15 minutes of this half. For Hill, perhaps 2 goals is a little too much to come back from.
Well, that was a better flick on by Gritton. Just unfortunately for him, went behind Gareth Evans. There goes Morgan. Sorted out eventually by James Jennings. Jennings again. Came through the Manchester City Academy, Jennings. The loan spell at Altrincham last season, and I think most observers thought his career at Macclesfield was over, but he signed a new contract in the summer and he returned to the club. Another foul on Osman. Floated in by Jagielka, high and hanging. Just got a little piece of that as well he did, Richard Walker, as there were 3 Everton players waiting to pounce. I think David Moyes knows, and I'm sure he's told his players, Jason, if they get a second, effectively this cup tie should be over.
Yes, and Keith Alexander would have said to his boys exactly the same. Let's not concede, let's make sure we give ourselves a chance in this game. They're still very much in it. We saw enough in the first half for them to believe that they can get a goal in this game. Push there from Chibi. I don't think they've played poorly, Macclesfield, by any stretch of the imagination, and you know, they must have been so disappointed to concede the goal that they did, because it was a wonderful strike.
Almost to the edge of the box from Brain's free kick. Here's Bell. Recovered from that facial injury he got at the end of the first half. Well, that was a little bit casual. Got away with it. Hesse whacked it straight at Tim Cahill. Dunfield. Nice turn by Evans. Well, I fancy the shot here. Didn't get the power, but it almost turned into an excellent pass. He's looked very bright, Gareth Evans.
Yes, he's the one that going forward looks to be the more dangerous. Really, it was a poor strike that nearly fell into the path of Critton, that just ran away from him.
Lescott's clearance. Well, one in the air by Morgan. Cleared by Brown. Not put a foot wrong so far, Julian Lescott. Dealt with everything that Macclesfield have thrown at him. Here's Hibbert. Arteta. Nichovi. Arteta. Good play this from Everton. Osman. Passing round Macclesfield at the moment. Tony Hibbert. Corner.
Yeah, good possession, good play. Wonderful awareness from Arteta. Didn't track his run. Played the ball into Nichovi and managed to turn. As soon as he turned there, the backtracking as a defender. As you said, they're good possession, well kept. First corner of the second half.
Here's where Macclesfield really have to concentrate. They can't afford to concede again now. Osman with a signal to someone. And that's what it was, the training ground routine, but it broke away from Arteta. Cleverly back to Osman again. An unchallenged catch for Brain.
Nearly came off. Touch from Arteta wasn't the greatest.
Again, Lescott powerful in the air when he had to be.
I think if they can keep this now to 1-0 with 15 to go, the crowd behind them, they'll play some long balls. You get the feeling that Brown will be the one that's going to, with his aerial prowess, will be the one to push a little further higher up the pitch. Perhaps go from back to front a little quicker.
Walker's up and under. Well watched by Neville. Reed with the throw then for Macclesfield. Looking for Brown to get the flick on. Cahill. Intelligent ball inviting Tony Hibbert on. Look at the space he's got to run into as well. Osman twisting and turning in a crowded box.
A little disorganised there, weren't they, for a second, Macclesfield? Great hold-up play by Cahill, bringing players in around him. They were left very exposed on this left-hand side. Everton's right, and for a second it looked as if they were going to get a decent ball in, but they managed to regroup.
Osman. Came off Jennings. Hibbert. No elevation on Hibbert's delivery. Lescott finding space all over the pitch at the moment though, Everton. On by Baines. Pienaar. Arteta. Pulling Macclesfield one way and then the other. Tony Hibbert round the back. Good defending in the end. But they are really stretched at the moment, Macclesfield.
Yeah, very stretched. The back five looks very disorganised at the moment. Certainly on defensively there, left-hand side. Looks as if Hibbert's going to get it every single time.
Whacked forward by Reed. Evans tried to get a touch. It worked out to be a good one. Here's Dunfield. The shot was travelling. It was James Jennings who had a dig there. Neville. Pienaar. Always a white shirt in support. Cahill. Now Pienaar.
Just can't get near it at the moment, can they, Macclesfield? This is good play from Everton, frustrating. Macclesfield keeping the ball, moving the ball. Look, the amount of width of the pitch they're using. Hibbert one side, Baines the other. It's a great ball.
Let's see Lescott's slide rule accuracy with that. It's only a goal kick in the end, but it was a wonderful pass from the defender.
And the problem they've got, Macclesfield, is that they can't get any possession and they're chasing shadows. I mentioned before, Baines and Hibbert, both full-backs, are having plenty of space on the ball, plenty of time.
Mike Rance, the Macclesfield chairman, sure he's appreciative at least of the effort that his side have made so far. Everton threatening again though with Pienaar. Look at the white shirts filling the penalty area. Neville just had to adjust there. The ball was played behind him. Arteta for Tony Hibbert.
Space he's got.
Floated towards the far post. I don't think he knew, Paul Morgan, who was behind him.
Well, they've got to do something about Hibbert, because you get the feeling the more and more the game goes on, the second goal is going to come for Everton. Hibbert's the one that, whenever he seems to be in possession, has got no one within 15 to 20 yards of him.
Arteta's corner. And Bray had to come through a crowd. In the end, he was able to grab it. It's a little dodgy for a moment.
He got lucky, as you said, for a crowd of players there. Managed to claim it the second attempt.
Well, one in the air by Walker. Only half clear though by Reed. They don't want to invite Everton on. They don't need a second invitation at the moment. Tony Hibbert.
It's again acres of space, and Alexander really needs to get a grip of that.
The cross was delivered low, and Sean Hesse couldn't really control the attempted clearance, so it's a corner for Everton.
Only one thing that Everton could improve on is their delivery in wide areas. They've got into those positions, most notably down this right-hand side, but Their delivery never seems to miss that first man out. However, they do get a second attempt at the corner.
Arteta again will take for Everton. It's a very good delivery. Jagielka was one of those attacking it. Cahill in there as well. In the end, the decision is goal kick. Hearts in mouths though for the Macclesfield fans when that came across.
Great delivery in. Let's have a look at this again. It kind of falls to his feet. I don't think he's expected. It comes from a sea of players. In actual fact, I think that could well have been a corner. Walker, it comes off.
Dunfield. And again. Bell. Oh, lazy clearance that. All that Britain could do was get a flick on it. Just took it straight through to Johnny Brain.
No one up front with him, was there? It's not a bad little flick inside, but he's up there on his own. Flicks it into no one.
Here's Stephen Pienaar for Everton. Just away from Anik Chabi, but it's going to reach Tony here, but round the back again here. Well, it seems only a matter of time before Everton break through again.
Well, again, we've highlighted it pretty much in the first half, but second half it's been given far too much space there, Hibbert, on that right-hand side. He's got the freedom of that right-hand side, and it's a decent ball, I think. Anachibi, not too sure if he was aware that Hibbert was out there. If he was, it's a wonderful dummy.
Yet another corner then. That was defended a little better. Well played, Morgan. And then Arteta with a rather casual attempt to cross the ball back into the danger zone. Now here goes Evans. It's 1v3. Not the best odds. Good tackle by Hibbert.
Yeah, he's on his own, Trev. You know, you said 1v3, not best odds. In the end, it was 1v5, and he had no other choice except to run at the defence.
Just a question of how long Keith Alexander gambles before he has to put another striker on. He's got to at some point. His team continue to trail. And he needs to do it before they go 2 down.
Yes, I mean, the game hasn't gone the way he would have planned, I'm sure. Inevitably, if they do go a little more cavalier going forward, I would have thought that the space that we've already seen in the opening exchanges of this second half will leave Everton more opportunities to get forward. Not happy with that decision.
Manager's body language is the same, whether it's the Premier League or League Two.
Referees are always at the centre of the attention as well, aren't they?
I think he's done well so far, Peter Walton. He hasn't had to book anyone. He's kept the game flowing as much as he can. As we approach the hour mark at Moss Rose, with Everton still a goal to the good, courtesy of Leon Osman's excellent half volley just before half-time. Dunfield's ball is straight into touch. Jagielka. Macclesfield lost in the first round last season to Rushden. They've got to this stage by beating Harlow and Port Vale. This is something of a step up in class.
What a wonderful ball that was from Lescott. Great run from Cahill.
And the overlap as well from Baines. 3 waiting. Well defended by Hesse. Captain leading by example there.
Trouble is, though, it just, at the moment just keeps coming straight back at them.
Well, there's no outlet up front. Well, there is. There he is, Martin Gritton on his own and chasing shadows at the moment. Bell. Came off Leighton Baines. Looking for the flick from Brown, and he does win it more often than not. No one there to capitalise. Well, free kick here for Everton. Peter Walton was very close to that.
Better from Macclesfield, at least they're closing down and getting a little tighter. Something we haven't seen too much of in the second half. Hibbert's an out ball, see him drifting down this right-hand side.
Leighton Baines to take. Away by Brown. Rescued by Arteta. That's got back to Baines. Nice touch, and the return pass from Pienaar was woefully overhit.
Great awareness though, nice sort of flick. Good understanding from the front men. Starting to enjoy the game now, Everton.
Pienaar again. Osman takes over. Support from Neville. Now Arteta. Now using the full width of the pitch on both sides. Freedom of Cheshire again here for Hibbert. It's a better delivery. Macclesfield again at full stretch. A volley into a very crowded penalty area, could have gone anywhere. I think Bray did have it covered, but the danger's not over. And it should be! Terrific effort.
That was a shot, make no mistake about it, that was a shot. And why not? Dominating this second half, Everton. Again, I don't know how many times we've said it, Trev. Hibbert given the freedom of the park. Let's have a look at the strike. It's not a bad effort, you know. Now to turn.
It's only 3 years since he made his senior debut in Eachby. That was in the FA Cup actually against Chelsea. Little flick from Evans. Dunfield. Well played Hibbert, he read the danger there. Knew he had a man about to go outside him. It's Jennings who's on the ball now. Hardly threatened in the second half. Dunfield's got it forward. Britain battling for it, but getting no change at all out of Mikel Arteta. And ironic applause from the Macclesfield fans as Peter Walton gives their side of the decision. Everton lost at home to Oldham in the third round last season. Lost against Blackburn. Campaign before that, beaten at Shrewsbury, famously back in 2003. So they've not had it all their own way in recent years. Well, are we going to see John Rooney, younger brother of Wayne? He's just 18. They've just signed him on a 2-year deal and extended his contract. Of course, his older brother's still an absolute icon amongst the Everton supporters. Here's Hibbert. What a fairy tale that would be if he was to come on and earn a replay. Remember his brother scoring his first goal against Arsenal. Famous for him when he was just 17.
Not to live up to though.
It is a tough ask, isn't it? Pienaar. Rather hemmed in on the corner, and he did well and he was fouled.
He's done well there, Pienaar. It's going nowhere. Stuck it through Dunfield's legs and got suckered into the challenge.
Jagielka forward. Cahill always a threat. Jolyon Lescott as well. Midway through the second half, perfect time for Everton to double the advantage here. Macclesfield must stay strong. It was asking an awful lot of Anichebe, and just onto the roof of the net. And look at this, Osman on the charge again for Everton. Tim Cahill, Tony Hibbert. Didn't hit the pass with any kind of authority.
Yeah, they got a bit sloppy, I think, last 5 minutes, Everton.
Thing is that there's just no threat coming at the other end, is there?
And sometimes, you know, the fact that you are dominating a game by possession and chances, scoreline is still only 1-0. If you're only a bit of a false sense of security, you can believe because of the way the game's gone that you're winning it by more, but Macclesfield are still very much in this game.
Flag up on this near side against Anichebe. Everton 5 times winners of the FA Cup, most recently under Joe Royle in 1995. It was the last Englishman to win it until Harry Redknapp won the trophy at Portsmouth last season. Arteta. Jagielka. Anichebe. Going the long way round, but he's made it. He's dug out a cross as well. It might fall here for Neville. Pushed Pienaar a bit wider than he wanted to go. See Baines trying to stay onside and succeeding. Whistle's gone.
You can see he was looking right along the line there. Had to hold his run. In the end, Pienaar perhaps took a little longer than he should have done. So Anichebe up front on his own, leading the line. Great run down this right-hand side.
Well, here comes the first change for Macclesfield. James Jennings is the player who's coming off, and that is Stanley Thomas, midfielder who was actually signed by Paul Ince during his tenure here from Hereford. I think it's as much tiredness as anything else. Jennings has done a lot of running. We've seen Hibbert attacking down that right flank at every opportunity. So that'll be a little more craft to the Macclesfield midfield, and they got themselves a free kick here as well, fouled by Neville. Might be their best chance to set piece. They've got Richard Walker forward amongst others. Dunfield. Wasn't too much conviction, was there, behind that ball in? Headed down by Osman. And now that Anichebe went down there as he tried to get on the end of that, and I hope that's not his back again, but it looked very awkward and very painful.
Well, sometimes you find the worst injuries are innocuous. Player, yeah, it looks like it's his. So the top of his hip, he's holding the hip flex. Backs are really dodgy. I've had a bad back myself throughout my career, Trev, and they can affect the whole of the body. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, you can see there he's just slipped, doesn't he? His left leg giving way, and he looks to be holding the top of his right thigh, the hip flex there.
Well, this is the last thing that David Moyes needs. He's got a real striker crisis at the moment. He's been having to play Cahill as an emergency man up front on his own, and needs to be back today, and I don't think he's going to be able to continue. We'll wait and see. Yakubu, of course, is a long-term casualty at the moment.
Some players going down injured now. They received some treatment, have to leave the field of play.
And he might not want to risk it. I mean, there are only 19 minutes left. His team are a goal up.
So the conversation, I know exactly what he's saying. Okay to continue.
Looks like he did get the nod, didn't he, of approval from Anichebe, but it's a worrying moment. The player's had so many injury problems. See him go down like that, you automatically fear the worst. Kept on by Brown, but no one there. Cleared away by Hibbert. Back by Hesse.
This game's in danger of drifting away from Macclesfield. They've offered nothing in terms of going forward. They've been toothless up front. Just a series of long balls. The Gritner's flicked onto nobody, or Evans, who's looked the most likely if there is going to be a goal. Looks like it's going to come from him. Has been a willing runner, but second half the quality has really shown. There's been a chasm, I know, between the two sides in terms of league places, and this second half it's shown.
Pina. Arteta. Jagielka with all the time in the world to pick out a pass to Lescott. Osman.
Just not getting tight now. They're dropping off, they're allowing plays to turn at will.
Here's Pina.
Sorry, Trevor, the nearest play just isn't closing down quick enough at the moment.
Neville for Anichebe, who seems to be okay after that knock, but I tell you what, I'm not sure he is. He winced there as he played that little side foot pass. Hibbert wants it back and he's got it. Tony Hibbert! And a swing and a miscue from Stephen Pina. Interception by Jagielka. Now Leighton Baines. They've been threatening a second for some while, Everton, and they nearly got it there. It's a very clever flick. Jagielka was the creator.
He was the one, Trev, wasn't it, to come out and regain possession for Everton. He continued his run. Ball's gone out to Baines. He's picked out Jagielka. Got his head up there. He's meant this ball. Whipped it in at pace. For centre half, that's not a bad effort, to be honest.
Only scored one so far this season, Phil Jagielka. He's not had much to do defensively. You reckon you might as well get forward. Well, there's another up and under. It's going to be easy for Howard.
15 to go, Trevor. You can't help but think that something's got to change tactically now.
I don't think Howard's touched the ball, has he, apart from a back pass in the second period or some kind of overhead effort like that. He's had absolutely nothing to do. There goes Arteta, and now Osman. That's a nice little trick from Leon Osman. Pass has driven Pienaar wide. Reed goes across the cover, laid off to Neville. Baines. Bramer struggling, and he was very relieved to see it just drift past that far post.
Yeah, you can see by his reaction, he knew it was close. Once again, great build-up play from Everton, given far too much time and space. The fullbacks instrumental again in the build-up. This time it's Baines. Great awareness, wonderful little drag across. Tell you what, just getting centre forward in the country. That's a wonderful ball lofted towards the far post. I think tactically they have to change something. They're just not getting anywhere near the ball in terms of possession, and they're not giving the crowd anything to cheer, Trev, either. And you know, a 1-0 down with 15 to go in a cup tie at home against Everton, you'd have thought that the crowd would have far more to cheer about and have a bit more belief, but there's been nothing for the crowd to build on. Nothing, no belief, no efforts on goal. And as you said, Trev, Tim Howard, redundant in his goal.
Here's Bell. Again, it was a disappointing pass. And he's off on the chase. Good defending. Morgan, Walker and Hesse have all been extended, especially in the second half, the Macclesfield centre halves. Pina. Osman. Might fancy a dip, and Anichebe can settle it here. He tried to be unselfish, maybe too much so.
Trev, he's got to shoot, he's got to shoot. A chance to go 2-0 up. Okay, it's on his left foot, but he's got looking really well. The pass wasn't even on. Great reverse pass again to put him in. Again, Macclesfield exposed. That's a chance to put this tie to bed. Didn't take it.
Referee had a good look at that and saw no foul on the substitute Danny Thomas. Cahill had 2 or 3 opportunities now to put this game to bed, Everton.
Once again, Macclesfield so deep. The back 3 or 5, whatever you want to call them, too close to the midfield.
It's Pina! Thumped into a crowded area, but he miscued it badly. Well, as things stand, that may not be a costly miss.
Hesitate to say, but you can't see Macclesfield scoring here. It's a commentator's nightmare if you come out with a quote like that.
Well, Lee Bell has come off for Macclesfield. Second change made by Keith Alexander. And that's Simon Yeo, 35 years of age, former army man, of course he was. And he's going to go and partner Gritton and Evans up front. Might as well have a go now.
Well, they've got absolutely nothing to lose.
And they might be sneaking in around the back here, but there's just no way through. What an introduction that would have been for Yeo.
Yeah, no support. Again, he's outnumbered. They're too deep again, Macclesfield. As that ball goes forward here, he's looking for support. So Gritton there, he's walking. Now 15, 20 yards behind him. He's up front on his own, surrounded again.
Tell you what though, Tony Hibbert was a relief man. It was a total miscue from the Everton fullback.
Trouble you got when you play 5 at the back, unless those fullbacks push in and make those extra men in the middle of the park, you can get overrun. And we mentioned in the first half, Arteta has had the run of the pitch. He's been given far too much time and space, and they just don't get high enough up the pitch as a unit, Macclesfield.
Jagielka will take the throw. They look a tired side, Macclesfield. They've done so much running, chasing Everton around.
Yeah, and that goal before half-time would have demoralised them slightly. Like I said, if you can go in at half-time at 0-0, it gives you a bit of belief, something to build on, but certainly the way that they've played second half, you feel as though that they believe that their chance of getting something out of this game is gone, and it's still only 1-0.
Nice control from Arteta. A couple of yards to work with here. Neville. Osman. Half a suspicion of a shove. Referee saw nothing wrong. Yeo couldn't get there. Well, they can afford to play at their pace now, Everton. They've knocked it around impressively in the second half without finding that final killer touch, and a second goal that would kill off the tie. Eventually a handshake between Cahill and Richard Walker. 10 to play then at Moss Rose. Can Macclesfield find something to force the tie to a replay at Goodison in 10 days' time? Here's Osman for Everton. And he saw Arteta on the overlap, but he couldn't find him. Forward by Dunfield, but again it was rather an aimless ball. And he had time to measure it too.
Didn't need to pass it, Trev. You know, he had space in front of him. Could he have travelled with the ball? Just say the way they played second half, they do look a side that's struggling in their league. And as I said before, the crowd have had nothing really much to cheer of throughout the game, but second half there's been absolutely nothing. Tim Howard barely touched it.
Dunfield. Now Thomas. That's into the crowd.
Well, we saw first half Jennings getting over the halfway line and causing 1 or 2 problems. First time we've seen Thomas get over the halfway line, and his delivery there was disappointing.
Thomas. Back down the line by Hesse. Well, that fell kindly for Yo. And good cover in the nick of time for Everton as Evans was bearing down on Lescott and potentially Tim Howard.
Yo's done okay since he's come on. He's been a bit of nuisance value, put himself about, caused one or two problems. All of a sudden the crowd have arrived.
Dunfield just took one little sortie into the Everton box to get the home fans interested. Whistle's gone, it'll be a free kick. Must have thought about playing advantage there, Peter Walton, but I suspect Macclesfield would rather have the free kick here and get the likes of Walker, Morgan and Hesse all forward.
You said it earlier, Trev, you get the feeling if they are going to get back in this game, Macclesfield, it is going to come from a set piece. Chance for the heavy artillery from the back. And see Morgan and Walker to arrive. Of course, the one who's been most dominant in the air for Macclesfield has been Brown. Sure, he'll be the target.
There he is, right in the centre of your screen. Well, if he's up against Tony Hibbert in here, there's only one winner. Surprised if that's how Everton are setting up here. Dunfield, and that really was a bit of a waste.
Yeah, for me, that ball has got to come in the box. I mentioned the height. Okay, you can look at Everton, Jagielka and Lescott, one or two others at the back. That's an absolute waste.
By Lescott, but another free kick for Macclesfield.
And this has got to come in the box. It's far too deep for him to have a strike on goal. This time Hesse, Morgan again, and Walker make that journey up from centre half up into the box. I'm sure Brown is definitely going to be the target this time.
Well, there he is. He wants it. Will it be delivered accurately enough? Well, the answer's no, but it's still half a chance here for Macclesfield. Miscued shot. This is Brown. Goes down. Very optimistic shouts. They all turned around and looked at the referee. It was a clumsy challenge, though.
Well, I tell you, I've seen them given for less. Hibbert's got a little bit too physical there, you know. As soon as you get to close, have a look at this. I think that's a penalty, Trev. I think that's a penalty. Hibbert there, I tell you, his heart would have been in his mouth. He's got way too close. He's nowhere near the ball. His legs have tangled up. He's gone down. There's appeals. For me, Pete Wilton has got that wrong.
What might have been for Danny Thomas.
But Hibbert doesn't need to do that. You know, he's going away from goal. He's not causing any trouble.
So it was optimistic because there didn't seem to be too much interest from any of the other Macclesfield players.
It is until you see the replay there. There's a clash of legs. And Walton, I tell you, you look at in that situation. You always look where the referee's positioning is. Positioning is perfect. He's got a good look at it. That's a let off for Everton.
Ryan hanging again into the Everton penalty area.
Today's attendance, 6,008, 6,008. Thank you very much for your attendance. Today's silver medal match is...
Well, it's Macclesfield's best spell of the second half by some margin. Lofted forward again. Jagielka only got the job half done. Neville away. Well, the bounce. Rather unsettled Everton there. Laid off by Thomas. That'll be a corner, but it won't go. And there's a really rushed clearance. Straight up in the air by Jagielka. Just signs of a few nerves here for Everton late on in the game as they try and protect this lead. No way through though for Dunfield.
I agree, they've given a couple of free kicks away, Everton. Macclesfield on the front foot for the first time in his second half, but Chibi has a chance to bring it away.
Arteta. Offside against Peanut.
Another thing, this has got to be launched forward. 3 remaining. Just for a second there, in those couple of free kicks, one was wasted, but just a few problems at the back. As you said, a couple of nerves maybe creeping in. They've dominated the second half and they've not put this tie to bed.
There's Thomas. Support behind him from Hesse. Dunfield. Got round Arteta once. Tried to chip it up for Brown, who couldn't reach it.
Once again, Brown's the target. Haven't seen much of him in the second half.
Some players in gloves, not too many managers in gloves. It's that kind of day, it's freezing. But David Moyes will look at this as a job well done if Everton can get through the next couple of minutes plus whatever we're going to have for stoppages.
But got lucky with the penalty, in my opinion.
That's an odd one because even Thomas didn't seem too interested.
No, you'd expect a player going down there would remonstrate far more.
Dunfield will get a throw there. Last touch was Mikel Arteta's. Hesse. Anichebe. Just couldn't thread the ball through there to Stephen Peanut. Neville. Lascott eventually gets the ball for the safety of the terracing.
The game's gone a bit scrappy as far as Everton are concerned. Macclesfield are giving it a real go in these final stages of the game.
Well, Gareth Evans races run, and we are going to see 18-year-old he is now, just 18, John Rooney. He's got 30 seconds plus stoppage time to become an instant hero.
Well, he would be a hero, make no mistake about that. He's going to be a tabloid dream if he manages to snatch an equaliser here.
That's Dan Gosling who's coming on for Everton, their first change.
Substitution for Everton, replacing number 20.
Stephen Pienaar's the man who's gone off for the Toffees. Gosling, who scored his first goal for the club last weekend against Sunderland. Oh, slip there, and the shot, that was the last chance, I suspect.
Well, it's on his left foot, it sat up nicely. He would have felt nice and comfortable coming onto this.
He's looked quite bright, Thomas, since he's come on. Maybe he had a fraction more time than he realised too here.
He slips just slightly and then manages just to regain a bit of composure. There's a slip, but it's nicely set up for him. And, you know, he'll be disappointed that he hasn't at least hit the target there. Everton having only themselves to blame because they have dominated so much, and going into these final stages, slightly concerned there'll be an equaliser for Macclesfield.
Well, we're into stoppage time, only 2 minutes to add. Just a hint of confusion there at the back for Macclesfield. Well, also might have hit the hand of Isaac Reed. I'm not sure he knew too much about it, to be fair.
I think that would have been harsh had Everton got a penalty there.
Arteta's corner. Well, Everton won't mind that. 30 seconds to go. Arteta again. Towards Cahill, couldn't quite reach it. Well, this will be the last chance, surely. How much support have Macclesfield got up front? They're 2 at the moment, and that's a disappointing delivery. We've played the 2 minutes. And it should be. Cahill. Neville. Lofted forward again. Everton quite happy to play the last few seconds out in Macclesfield territory.
Yeah, he's worked hard up front on his own. And Chuby's worked, he's chased. He may have suffered injury which may force a substitution, but he's impressed me. Most disappointing aspect of this game for Keith Alexander, I should say, is that they just haven't turned up. They just haven't turned up. Everton haven't had to be at full pelt here to win this game.
Well, we're a minute and a half almost over the original 2 minutes. Came off Hibbert. Dunfield. Just hitting Hope now. Shooting chance! That's a fabulous save by Howard. Single-handedly, he's denied Macclesfield a replay. The first serious save he's had to make in the 4th minute of stoppage time. And Everton are through to the 4th round of the FA Cup.